Hey everybody, it's your favorite sports talk show, KBR Sports, the best sports talk show of your 24-hour day. I'm your host, Brendan Abbott, with my two co-hosts. My co-host to my left, Rashad Pennell, and my co-host to my right, Khalid Lewis. We're broadcasting to you on WODU Live, the best in college radio. How y'all doing today?
Hey, you can't complain, man. Just trying to deal with this cold weather. Trying to
Weather.
stay,
Weather.
you don't pronounce the H out here, weather.
No.
Trying to stay warm out here.
Oh,
Trying to fight the weather and losing.
The weather.
The weather.
The weather.
Hey, get it right.
I feel
With
you.
2D.
For real though, really though.
Nah, but it's cold. This weather.
See how I'm dressed?
Yeah.
Man.
See how I'm dressed? No scarf, man.
You wildin', bro. I love me some warmth. I love me some warmth, some health, some goodness, some heat. If I had some hot cocoa, I'd be good.
Bro,
right
I was
now.
just thinking the same thing.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna go to Starbucks real quick. Bless that scene real quick. You know what I mean?
You might have to.
Got me with the flex point stuff for this.
Anyways, going on to the next topics. Going on to the topics. Here are the topics that we got lined up for y'all today. We're gonna talk about the shellacking the Golden State Warriors put on the Cleveland Cavaliers, because I mean, really, it was a beatdown. If anybody saw it, Martin Luther King Day, trust me, he was dreaming something serious after that game. You know what I mean?
He won't dream anything for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Because
no hope there.
Yeah. And after that, we'll go on to talk about the Carolina Panthers and Arizona Cardinals playoff game this weekend, and then also go into the Patriots and the Patriots and the Broncos game. And then there's like so many storylines that even come with that game itself. The Broncos players talking about making comments regarding Tom Brady, then making comments regarding Rob Gronkowski. It's like, man, like everybody just has something to say about one another. When we get to, and then also discussing whether if this should really be it for Peyton Manning, because it seems as though his play has regressed to many people, and people feel as though in this time where so many people are announcing their retirements, that is it about time that Peyton announced his. But we'll get into that later on in the show. But to start off with, like I said, the Golden State Warriors, man, they beat the Cavaliers 132-98 on Monday night, and it was like an aberration, because Golden State was really like firing on all cylinders. Like I think like Steph Curry had like 5 threes in the first half, and his
first shot was a 3-point.
It was, and he had 16 points in the first quarter. LeBron James finished the game with 16 points. So that just tells the story for itself. And then Steph didn't play at all in the fourth quarter, most of the starters didn't play because it was that bad of a beatdown. I think there was one point it was like 64-104. I think that was the score at one point. Like they were legit. The highest deficit was the biggest deficit was 43. And that's the largest margin of that's the biggest large margin that LeBron's ever been down by in his career. And this is after Steph Curry makes the remarks about, man, I hope that the place still smells like champagne and everything like that. And LeBron, they're asking different Cavalier players about it, and LeBron's like, when the reporters are leaving, LeBron's like, y'all not gonna ask me? And then they're like, well, did you want to make a comment? And he's just like, well, I mean. He's like, I have an answer for it in the game or after the game, man. Yeah.
I'm still waiting on the answer.
Yeah. Well, his answer was they gave him an old-fashioned, behind whipping. I'm substituting words right there, but that's virtually what it was. I mean, they got ran out of their own building. I mean, it was a lot different than the Christmas Day game when they were a lot more competitive. And it was definitely they played really bad at home that game. It was really bad. Like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love combined went 4-16. Like in the fourth quarter, Steph Curry scored both of them for the whole game. I mean, in the first quarter, Steph Curry had already outscored both of them. Kyrie finished with 8. Kevin Love finished with 3 points. So y'all, what do y'all think this loss means to the both teams, and especially with like how much vitriol everybody's been throwing towards the Golden State Warriors, because everybody's felt like they've won because of luck and everything like that. But then they go out and destroy the Cavaliers, like just punish them. So what do y'all think about it? Rashad? Let me hear your perspective first. What do you think?
So this win shows that this Cavaliers team, I don't think is ready for the Warriors yet. Because, at Christmas Day, we were talking about, well, Kyrie Irving was just back for 3 games. Let's see what happens when they play him again when they're healthy. And we see what happens when they're healthy. He gets strapped. Kevin Love gets strapped. LeBron gets strapped. The whole team gets strapped. And then you have astronomical shooting by Golden State Warriors.
I just said that. Come on. Astronomical.
Hey, bro, them shoes was out of this world.
Every shot went in. And this is how it was. Every shot went into stuff. Out of the court every time.
You seen the little Super Saiyan thing when Sam gets excited? He's like,
Oh yeah.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's how this game was. Every 2 minutes you see out of stuff. So there's nothing you can do about that. And Klay Thompson with 15 points, all of them were 3-pointers. What can you do something about that? Yeah. You can't stop a team who they shot 48% from 3-point that game as a team.
Yeah.
And that's excluding how well probably Steph shot.
Yeah.
And then they shot almost 60% from the field as a team.
Can't beat somebody shooting.
They shot better. Crazy. They shot better 3-point percentage than the Cleveland Cavaliers shot as a field goal percentage for the whole game. That says something right there. So if you're shooting 2-pointers at this percent, and this team's shooting 3-pointers at this percent,
you see the kind
according to my math is every shot they get 1 more point than you are. So they had no chance of winning.
Hey, that's true.
I just can't even.
They had no chance of winning.
Yeah.
Now for the Warriors aspect, this is like a statement win for them because everybody's been talking about how when they lost 2, they just lost 2 recently. Everybody's been talking about how the Spurs team is probably better than them.
Yeah.
I don't think, like you said, no team has given LeBron problems like this until this Warriors team just did it. Not even the Spurs did it. Spurs beat on. Spurs did a little thing to them, but it wasn't like this. So I feel like it's building back up that resume for the Golden State Warriors where they're trying to look like the number 1 soul team in the NBA and not trying to share it with the Spurs.
I feel you.
All right, Khalid, what do you think?
I do. It was a great game.
For who?
For the Warriors. What you mean?
No, because when you say it's a great game, I'm thinking competitive.
I want a great game.
Yeah, it was a great game for the Warriors.
I was sitting there, man.
Steph Curry.
If we could, I would have been sleeping in the fourth quarter.
No, look, halftime when the score was 74-44, I was like, how? But it's a half. How do you score 30 more points than the other team?
That's 30 points in the first quarter, 40 something in the second quarter. After that,
but it's just sad. Like you were saying, they were shooting a better 3-point field goal percentage than the Cleveland Cavaliers field goal percentage. So they were scoring 1 more point than they were shooting.
Yeah, man. It was.
I think this win for them really like shows the difference between like Cleveland and the Warriors. The Warriors like showed that they won't be beaten by the Cleveland Cavaliers, even at home, even when their fans are roaring and screaming and hype, whatever. That they're unfazed by them. Like Steph apparently still smelled the champagne when he came in there, and he probably gonna smell it next time because the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think they tried to adjust to the Warriors play from when they played in Christmas. They tried to get a little faster or more riskier, and when I saw Kevin Love shoot a 3-point and airball it, I was like, they need to stop. They need to go back to what they was doing. I know Kevin Love he can shoot a little bit, but don't be shooting no 3-pointers, please. Especially when you losing horribly.
You gotta come back some kind of way. That's what Kevin Love probably thinking.
Not with Kevin Love. Kind of way. My man's LeBron. He tried to shoot. He shot something from the perimeter when the lane was wide open for him to go to the hole. I was like, man, go to the basket. Don't just stand there and shoot.
Well, I mean, nothing was going for LeBron that game.
I'll say to that credit, I mean, that was kind of their plan though, because they sagged off of LeBron just like the Spurs do. Whenever they guard LeBron, they're like, here, we're gonna let you shoot these open threes, open jumpers. Mm-hmm. But then they're inviting him to the rim. But when you have Andre Iguodala guarding you, you got Draymond Green guarding you, you got Harrison Barnes guarding you, then you got whoever is waiting for you at the rim. And halftime, Golden State doesn't even have anybody at the rim except for Draymond Green because Draymond Green is that long and he's that good of a defender that he constitutes as a big man whenever you try to attack the rim. So it's like LeBron's like, man, we can't get into the paint. I can't even get anywhere near it because they're just packing. They honestly packed the paint, but their rotation on defense was so good that the open shots that the Cavaliers had was the shots that Golden State wanted them to have.
Mhm.
And then, but I mean, there's also a simple fact that the Cavaliers weren't hitting shots.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Kevin Love, granted, in my opinion, I think the Cavaliers used Kevin Love wrong because
Yes.
he can shoot threes, and you do want to, utilize that in your offensive game, where you could create space for LeBron and Kyrie by having him out on the 3-point line. The problem is, to me, the Cavaliers don't force mismatches enough with Kevin Love because they don't ever try to post Kevin Love up. Really, you'll see it maybe 1 or 2 plays when LeBron or Kyrie's out the game, but then the rest of the game he's just out on the 3-point line taking threes, and you're just like, dude.
And that's when teams go small now. A lot of teams are going small too, so Kevin Love has the advantage.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me because if you can post somebody up and Kevin Love's going to have the advantage, you saw what he did in Minnesota. I mean, the dude's averaging 15 and 10. I mean, Kevin Love's not no scrub,
Exactly.
but they don't use him right. I mean, he's averaging 15 and 10 for most of the season when Kyrie Irving is out. Kyrie Irving already missed a quarter of this season and just came back this past month in December. So it's like, you sit there and think about it. You're like, I mean, Kevin Love's supposed to be the third option. Technically, the Chris Bosh role that Chris Bosh was in Miami was him, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade. But you see how they don't use Kevin Love right. So sometimes I sit there. Do you guys think that maybe some of these losses can be attributed to coaching? Because a lot of people last season said that they feel like the Cavaliers kind of got, or David Blatt himself got a pass because, I mean, you're not going to really get rid of a coach that made it to the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? His first season. But everybody always talks about the fact that when David Blatt got hired to be the Cavaliers coach, he didn't know that he was going to get LeBron James along with it. He thought he was going to have Kyrie Irving, Andrew Wiggins, blah, 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 whoever else. He thought it was going to be a rebuilding team. But then he comes and then LeBron comes and then they trade for Kevin Love. So then they're like, you got to win right away. And, he's still, I mean, David Blatt's technically a sophomore coach in the league. So do you think at times that it's the coaching, the experience, the differential of coaching experience shows in the games?
Of course.
I don't know, because we can't forget that David Blatt was a coach across seas, so he has experience coaching. But I mean, when you come to the NBA, it is a different level.
Yeah.
But he's not doing a bad job as a coach in the NBA right now. There's a lot of coaches who are a lot worse than he is. But I mean, because it's a LeBron's team, and we look at, do we think LeBron's more of a coach than he is? It's kind of the same thing with Eric Spoelstra when LeBron was in Miami. But neither one of them are bad coaches. I mean, we see the Heat can still compete right now with LeBron gone. Well, I can't say the same. Well, I didn't see David Blatt coach the Cavaliers without LeBron, so I wouldn't really know. But I don't think he's doing. I mean, they're number one in the East, so I don't feel like he's doing a bad job. Well, last year you had Atlanta and you had Toronto and all them up there at the top. So I don't know. I don't feel like he's doing a bad job right now. I mean,
maybe the Warriors the
Warriors make you look bad. That's all it is.
I think the Warriors just a horrible
Spurs
matchup for Cleveland.
But the thing is, the reason why, because technically, if you go back to the finals, the Warriors have beat the Cavaliers 5 straight times. So people are like, at this point, like, what adjustments? Because that's the coach's job, that you have to make adjustments. I mean, the coach can't be out there knocking down shots for you, granted, but that's the coach's job for you to match up, for you to have the X's and O's to match up with the Warriors' small lineup. Like the way the Warriors were running on the Cavaliers on Martin Luther King Day and hitting those threes. I mean, granted, some of those threes you're just like, man, that's you just tip your hat off to him. Like, you can't, like, this man Steph Curry. I mean, some of these threes you're just like, dude. If I was a coach, like, imagine coaching Steph Curry back in high school, and you see him take some of these shots, and you're just like,
come on,
yeah, and
heart attack.
Like, imagine when you first get him as a player, you're just like, yo, like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, you're like, what is this guy doing? But then he starts hitting them, and you're like, I don't know. I don't want to mess you up because I don't want to tell you to stop. But then at the same time, that's a bad shot. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's sometimes you're just like, what do you do? But then it's, you need somebody to make adjustments for you, because I feel like there's a reason why people give the Spurs more credit than the Cavaliers or the Warriors at times, because I think it helps that Greg Popovich is your coach. You know what I mean? Like, Greg Popovich has just had that. You know, we feel like every year Greg Popovich is a coach of the year candidate because his teams have never been historically losing teams. Ever since Greg Popovich has been coaching the Spurs have been on the up. They've never been on the down. And if they're on the down, it's due to a Tony Parker injury, due to Manu Ginobili being hurt, or Tim Duncan being hurt, something like that. But you never seen, when all three of those guys are healthy, that the Spurs have really ever been out of it. So you think about that, and then you look at it. I mean, the Warriors are a great team, because we even see without Steve Kerr that Luke Walton has them, you know, winning the #1 team in the West. But then at the same time, you look at it and you're like, man, this team is so talented because Steve Kerr got them off the first season, won a championship. So you look at that, you're like, they're so talented. So how big of a role do you think the coach plays in it? Because I mean, there has to be a reason why, you know, people are thinking that David Blatt kind of isn't getting, you know, there could be a better suited player or a better suited coach for the team. Because I mean, even in the loss, when you see the camera footage, you see at the point in time when they were losing, LeBron sitting next to Tyronn Lue, the assistant coach, and he's talking to Tyronn Lue as opposed to, you know, talking to David Blatt. So you kind of like, not to say Tyronn Lue would be a better coach than David Blatt, but it's those kind of things that you look at and you're just like, oh, could.
I mean, we
It's
don't
kind
know
of
what he's talking
questionable.
about, though.
No, you don't know. You
don't
don't know what he's talking about.
They could just be talking about, man, we getting blown out, yo. What you think? Or it could be
But
like,
Zach, but you
like,
see,
what do I need to do to fix it?
You talk about, you see, but even that, you said, what can I do to fix this? What we're getting blown out.
Yeah,
what are we doing
but
wrong?
we don't know that he's saying that.
I know, but I'm saying, but even the fact that you gave those examples, why are you talking about that with the assistant coach instead of the head coach? I could never imagine Kobe Bryant going to Kurt Rambis instead of Phil Jackson and saying, dang, bro, like, this is a bad loss. Like, what am I doing? That's, you know, what I need to do better? He's going to Kurt Rambis instead of Phil Jackson. Like, I don't think there's any situation we imagine that these star players
assistant coach will have better
judgment. But see, I'm saying there's a range of stuff you could say.
No, I know there's a range of.
He's talking about the game.
I know there's a range of stuff that you can say. I know that, but I'm saying this is even the examples that you just gave. Because most times whenever they show, we watch Cavalier games nationally, they're always showing that the players are talking to Tyronn Lue, or, you know, it's most of the time even the main players that talk to David Blatt are the opposing team's players. Like, the only conversation I saw Cavalier players having with David Blatt really was in the huddle, or it was when they were doing side out of bounds type plays. And in those situations, I'm just like, dang, like, because you see little things like you said, like Eric Spoelstra in Miami. The thing that the Cavaliers, like, there was a point in time I remember it was an inbounds play. I don't know if y'all remember this game, but I think it might have been Christmas Day actually, maybe. And the Cavaliers are doing a side inbounds play, and David Blatt was sending in David Blatt. Yeah, David Blatt was sending in Kyrie Irving. LeBron waved Kyrie Irving off and said, "I want Dellavedova in for this play." It's just like, man, like, how that man coaches the team essentially because he waved off a coach substitution. He said, "You staying there? You go back to your seat.
You good? You straight?"
Yeah, you know what I mean. This is Kyrie Irving, and he's telling pretty much telling Kyrie, and he's telling the coach, "Hey, we need Delly in for this play." You know what I'm saying? So it's like
because I feel like that's a play that if Kyrie was in the game, who got the ball, play would have got changed. Because Kyrie Irving would have did Kyrie Irving things instead of knowing his role, giving the ball back to LeBron or something like that.
Delly know his role.
But I'm just waiting for this next game with the Warriors, the Bulls, and this man Jimmy Butler.
Man, we don't have time to go into
keep hyping this man.
That's all I'm waiting for.
We don't got time to go into that.